Hey class, so today I've got 3 objectives for you. The first objective is to know what CAD software is. Number 2 is to know how to draw 3D shapes using the sketch tool, as well as to draw sketches on the sides of shapes or have 3D objects coming off of other 3D objects. And then my third goal is to teach you what the extrusion tool is. So, first objective, what is CAD software? Well, Autodesk Inventor, that's CAD software. It's a tool that's used to make models of objects in a 3D environment using a computer-aided design. Alright, now that objective 1 is done, let's learn how to draw some shapes. So we're going to do a new part, double click it. And here we go. We're all ready to start our sketch. You'll see that it's got us facing the front of our view cube. Now I've got an isometric view where it has the front, the right, and the top. Here you got the 3D indicator showing the same thing. We're going to use that as a guide throughout our process here. So, in order to make a 3D object, we are mostly going to be using the 2D sketch tool. What this is going to do is let us draw a shape, which we can later make 3D. So we click the top portion of this, just up here. Alright, now this is going to show us 3 different planes. A plane is just a flat surface, basically, and it matches up to what we see here in the view cube. You have the front, you have the right, the top, and you'll see this is like the top of a table. This would be the face of an object, and this would be the right side. We're going to use the face, so make sure it says XY plane, because that is how you'll know that you're drawing on that surface or that plane. Left click, and it centers us on that plane, and you'll see front, so we are drawing the front of our object. So the first sketch I'd like you to make is a rectangle. Now this is a 2-point rectangle. That means that you are going to click 2 different points, and it'll make a rectangle from those 2 points. We click the top portion. Well, before I do that, I just want to say that these are the different types of drawings you can do. You have line, circle, arc, and rectangle, all of which I'd like you to play with today. But we're going to start with the rectangle. Click the top portion. And I always like to start at 0, 0. The x-coordinate is 0. And the y-coordinate is 0. And let's make a cube rectangle. I'm not going to stress the size of it for today and being specific. So just, how about something about 5 inches wide and 3 inches tall? What I have right here, 5.123 and 3.284, that's good enough. All right. Now, when you draw that shape, you're going to see that there's colors on it now. That just means that the shape is complete. And you also have these little pictures. We're going to talk about those later. They're called constraints. And very similar to how we had constraints in a design brief, these are limitations and rules that apply to your shape. We're not going to focus on that for today. So we have our rectangle. Now we're going to go ahead and finish our sketch. Now we have a shape without any depth or thickness to it floating in our viewfinder. Okay, we click the home button and that'll show us our shape. Next thing, let's see, objective 3, the extrusion tool. So you'll see up here in the 3D model ribbon tab this button that says Extrude. What this does is take a shape that you've drawn, a sketch, and it adds depth to it. We're going to be using this a lot in our class. So what I'd like you to do is just click it, and you'll see this menu pops up, as well as these. I like to use this one because it gives you all your options. Now here, it'll ask you how deep you'd like it to go. I would just stick with distance because you're saying how far out it's going to come. And let's make this go out 3 inches. I typed that in. Since inches are the default unit, you don't need to type quotation marks or inches. You can just leave it at 3. It'll be the same. Now, these 3 are some options I'd like you to look at. Direction 1 will make it go in the same direction as this arrow. It'll go out this way. If I do direction 2, it's going to go 3 inches in the other way instead. Let's see that. Excellent. And then if I were to do symmetric, it'll do 1.5 inches this way and 1.5 inches this way. Ooh. So you can pick direction 1, click OK, and boom. We have done a portion of Objective 2, and we have done all of Objective 3. Objective 2 is making a 3D shape, and Objective 3 is learning the Extrude tool. So, for the second part of the second objective, I would like you to start sketching on the surfaces of this cube. To do that, start 2D sketch. And now, rather than pick the surface like we did in the beginning, we are going to pick a side or a surface of the 3D object. Let's go home. I'm going to start with the side. And now we are going to draw one of these shapes on the side of this object. Let's see, I will draw a circle. And when you put a circle, you'll see that you use a center point and a radius. If you just hover, it'll tell you what's going on. So here I'm picking the center of my circle. I'm not being precise today. I'm just going to click. And then the further out I bring it, the larger the circle gets. So I'm going to make it about 2 inches. Excellent. Once I do that, finish sketch. And now I would like you to use the Extrude tool again. We can make this one 6 inches. And there we go. Now, I would like you, for the remainder of the period, to continue using these sketch tools. You do not have to listen to this video anymore, but if you would like extra guidance, then I will continue doing this video for you. Alright, for those of you who are continuing to watch this video, we're going to go ahead and start sketching with some of the other tools we have. So I'm going to pick this shape right here, the side surface, the front, and I'm going to show you how to use the line tool. Line. You're going to be clicking for the beginning and end of each line. So I'm going to show you how that looks right now. And the nice thing about this sketching tool is that it gives you the freedom to make free form shapes. And we'll do that. Now that it's all colored in, and you can see the dots are colored in as well, we know everything's connected, we can finish our sketch. And I'd like to extrude this. Okay, now I can, if I hold Shift and press the middle mouse button, I can see that, or I can use the cube. And we're going to extrude it, let's say 1 inch. Okay, good. The last tool that we have, this one's a little bit more advanced. We're going to draw a sketch, let's say right on the top here. For the arc, this one is a little trickier. You're going to click the ends of the arc, and then the third click is going to change how big of a radius the arc has. So let me show you that. I click the start, and I click the finish. And right now it looks like a line, but the further out I go, the more it will arc. So I'm going to go ahead and make it like let me make it like a smiley face. Now, I would like a complete shape, and right now I only have an arc, or half a circle here. So So I'm going to go ahead and draw another arc with the same start and finish. Now, I'm going to make one with a smaller radius that will close off my smiley face. Finish the sketch. And I'm going to just extrude that, make it 2 inches. Great. Now, you can continue working on the sides of this cube, but by the end of the period, I need a picture of this shape.